the judiciary is historically referred to as the least dangerous branch. Here's my report on the Senate hearing of the same name. The supposedly least dangerous branch, district judges versus Trump. That is the name of Tuesday's joint subcommittee hearing. It included members of the subcommittees on the Constitution and federal courts under the auspices of the Senate Judiciary Committee. The hearing was presided over by Texas Republican Ted Cruz and by Missouri Republican Eric Schmitt. The unique history behind its title was explained by Professor Josh Blackman.
It is often repeated that we have three co-equal branches of government, but this isn't true. In Federal 78, Hamilton described the judiciary as the least dangerous branch. Unlike Congress, which is a power of the purse, and the president has the power of the sword, the courts have mere judgment.
Professor Blackman challenged the commonly held notion expressed recently by Chief Justice John Roberts, that it is the role of the courts to check the excesses of Congress or the executive. Instead, tools such as impeachment or accountability to voters through the electoral process are more suitable. The more narrowly defined role of the courts was further explored by another expert at the hearing. The argument comes down to the historic role of the courts, which is to resolve legal disagreements between parties and, as a byproduct, say what the law is, according to Chief Justice John Marshall's famous words in Marbury v. Madison. It is not to resolve policy disagreements for the whole nation.
The effect of a universal injunction is that the policies of the elected president are subject to what is effectively a veto by unelected district court judges. Because it only takes a single judge to issue a universal injunction, the president's opponents only have to win one lawsuit to stop the president, whereas the president has to win every single lawsuit if he wants to implement his challenged policies.
He pointed out in the month of February alone, more universal injunctions were issued against President Trump's policies than in the first 3 years of the Biden administration. That statistic, however, was used by the third expert on the panel to argue against the Trump administration's view of judicial overreach. Kate Shaw is a professor of law at the University of Pennsylvania. She asserted the administration loses 80% of the time before Democrat-appointed district court judges, as compared with 72% of the time before Republican-appointed judges. Shaw used this stat to argue the administration is in violation of the Constitution, as the courts appear more or less unified. Senator Ted Cruz disagreed, citing the sheer volume of nationwide injunctions issued against the Trump administration, which are greater than those issued in the entirety of the 20th century. He also highlighted the role of judge shopping, with 35 of the 40 injunctions all coming from the same 5 judicial districts. Cruz then took aim at New Jersey Democrat Cory Booker, who accused President Trump of putting the lives of judges in danger by his rhetoric, by reminding Booker of the post-Dobbs leak protests at the Supreme Court justices' homes as part of efforts to get them to change their opinions before the official decision. An armed assassin was even arrested near the home of Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
The central point I made, which is the Biden Justice Department arrested 0 people, prosecuted 0 people, for violating the criminal law, and every Democrat senator on this committee was silent about it. And this was an ongoing pattern for months. And I would note also that the senator from New Jersey clutched his pearls about language threatening judges, and yet I do not recall a single Democrat senator of this committee saying a word when Chuck Schumer went to the steps of the Supreme Court and threatened the safety of the Supreme Court justices by name.
The first 2 professors agreed the injunctions are creating a serious backlog for the nation's highest court and can be remedied, at least partially, by limiting the scope of injunctions to the parties involved with the lawsuit. For One America News, I'm Kara McKinney.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.